What's up? It's Allie. Welcome back to Plants vs. Zombies. I'm Garden%. Let me get my things all set up the way I need them. Get this music going. Alright, so there's auto play like that. Everything sounds too loud. I think I need to adjust the volume on the computer. There we go. Now it's correct. Alright, so we got the chat. We got Troubadour. We got the video game. Alrighty, I already took care of the Zen garden before the stream started, so we wouldn't have to water it. Let's just jump right in. So we're coming up on flag 200 here, and I'm thinking that might actually be a good place to call it for the survival lawns, because I feel like the point has been proven that this build is effective. Between this and the fog version, we'll have covered 400 flags by the end of this stream, and it's like, need we say more? Consecutive Jacktastrophes is the only thing that can really threaten it, and even then, like, not really. So for this round, we only need to worry about this guy and this guy. Bring these. Everything else is already in place. I'm gonna need to dig up the pumpkins I put on the magnets. But otherwise, I think we're fine. This should be a very easy round with very little trouble. Yes. Yes. You two will die, I'm sorry. I'm mildly sad that my ice room got crushed before it could go off. It wasn't strictly necessary, but it was annoying. Yep, sorry. I'm gonna put chat ahead of remote. I'll keep planting pumpkins. Nothing else is really going to harm them this round. This is such a nothing round of zombies, dude. I think I'll even fix this slightly chipped spike rock just because I can. Here's a real stack of zombies. And here. Level. Are we at flag already? We're at flag already. Oh my god. Better plant one of these. And not let it get crushed by zombonis this time. Let's see. Well, I've actually had a much better week of this one than I have in prior weeks. I really kept at it with Take Two, and I think I hardly missed any time slots at all. The only ones I even really missed were like ones I would normally set aside for art that I'm choosing to use for Take Two, which keep getting consumed by naps more than anything. But considering I've beaten my productivity issues down to occasional afternoon naps, that's a lot better than how things were before, I gotta say. And as far as progress in Take Two is going, well, I've got Natsuki pretty much fully functional for how she's initially supposed to work in his reality. She has her, like, opening attacks and abilities. Still has a ways to go on that. But, like, she's good for the things she'll have, like, pretty much out of the gate. Oh, well. I can do things. Oh, he stole my magnet. Because I was too slow. I was too busy thinking about Take Two. Curses. Oh well. If stealing the least important plant on the lawn is all they can get away with, then great. Honestly, I was just lucky they didn't target anything important. Alright. One magnet. It needs replaced. We're at maximum sun. Oh, Jack, here to keep me on my toes. Very well, you stinking guy. Still gonna replant that thing, though. Because fortunately, nobody else is a problem. It's literally just Jack. I wish I could plant spike weeds in the lanes, but these guys would just run them over. That's okay. We'll bring ice shroom, actually. Ice shroom is useful for stalling out Jack. Let's put that guy there. We'll put one of these here. But yeah, got Natsuki up and running, and now the only thing I'm doing at the moment is trying to set up the other devils to update them for like magic attacks and new effects like Amy's web, sticking things in place and whatnot. That's pretty much it. That's taking a bit to do because like one of the new effects is like that Monica's special attack can cause blindness, which causes attacks to miss, so I have to like include all these little contingencies for any attack that can miss. Bit of a bother, that. Yeah, and it's going swimmingly, pretty much. It's been kind of interesting. Everything I've been doing in the mod so far has just been refreshing my memory on how things actually worked. I really should not have taken 3 years off of development. So every time something comes up, I'm like, oh, where was that? And I have to, like, search in directory to find it. Which isn't the biggest deal, but it is annoying. But at the same time, having this little crash course has been helpful. I'm just hoping that the rest of the project going forward won't be so rocky because I'll have, like, remembered and gotten my sea legs back and all that. But if I keep up this pace, things are looking pretty good. Gigas. Oh, and Jacks. Gigas and Jacks. The lethal combination. Okay, hold on. I need these things and this guy. You're coming too? This is actually... But if they had Zamboni, this would be like the Quadfecta? I don't know. Yeah, this is bad. This could be a nasty one. Do your best, everyone. Okay, no, that wasn't poolside. Ugh. It was a little hard to tell because there are so many big guys. Distinctly feeling my lack of massive damage plans. Not to say I don't have any, just like I don't have as many as I would prefer to bring for this level of biggest. Alright, we made it to the flag and we're relatively unscathed, so that's great. Let me save those gods. These guys got nothing. Gosh, we don't even have any notched pumpkins. Let's not get cocky, there's still jacks out there. Oh, you stinking guy. I just planted it. That super sucks. I just hope that thing recharges in time so I don't have to bring it next time. So these guys are probably going to need a little more. Oh, hang on, just a little longer, guys, just a little longer. Ah, dang it. Come on. Rats! It's okay. There are no jacks this time. It's just the big guys. Sucks that I have to waste a slot bringing the thing, though. It's okay. Maybe it won't be so bad. Just watch out for dolphin riders, I guess. Everything else is just big, scary dudes. Actually, it seems I had a little extra space. What else? I don't really need anything specific. I guess I'll bring... Oh, wait, I should... I guess in these circumstances, I would probably bring Spikeweed and the Spike Rock instead of this, but I kind of need this. So, you know, maybe I'm not going to use Doom Shroom. Wake up. So now that things have cooled down at least a little bit, what else have we got going on? I mean, maybe I should save the news for like the non-survival portion of the stream. I mean the part where we're just grinding for plants. Since that part is going to be ostensibly less interesting. Samir, are they going light on all these guards? There's a nice cluster of gigas I can hit on. Yeah, maybe I should be like trying to recover from my eject test instead of spending with the sun. Did I bring ice cream just for the heck of it? I can't remember if there were bungees or not. I feel like I wouldn't have routed if there weren't bungees. I'd get excited if it didn't have such low chances of success. Like resisting the urge to use instas as much as possible. Seems to be going okay. I might have planted that ice room prematurely. There, I saved it. So there were bungees, just like there was only one. That's an astonishingly low number for bungees. Weird wave. Really weird. Quite peculiar. Alright, 2 more and that's it. What'll they give us? Eh. Preferred no checks, but That's the way it is. Okay. Jack is actually the only threat. You might think Garg is a threat, but he's not. He's too weak. Do you think the odds of me getting the whole lawn back up to snuff before the end is? It could have a lot worse. I mean, there's no hope for me fixing this one little spike rock. Oh wow, the ladder actually reached to the pumpkin up there. That's astonishing. Ladder off of there. Any notches? I don't see any. Smile for the camera, Lon. You made it to 200 flags. I would have had full sun if I wasn't obsessively planting. There we go. That's it for Survival Endless. Man, Jack, you'll never get your chance. Alright, let's see what plants we got. Or should I just go? I should probably just go, like, actually. So anyway, other news. Let's see. Hey, plant. Right, that so completely destroyed my train of thought. Thank you, plant. So I found myself feeling somewhat relieved at the end of this week, because it occurred to me that, like, all the things that have been disrupting my life finally had, like, a little break. It's like, some of it was internal and some of it was external. And the internal things are like being exhausted, being depressed, being sick. Happen to not be any of those things right now, so that's pretty great. And external things include distractions like getting my car repaired, and like getting my Switch repaired, and what else was there? I had like, well, the other day I got my blood work done from my physician. Like, I'd had my appointment sometime last year, like toward the end of the year. And I just kind of put off getting the blood work done because it's kind of a nuisance. Plus, I really don't like getting blood work done, to be perfectly honest. It's not something I enjoy even one little bit. But, like, it's especially annoying trying to fit it in around, like, the holidays and the start of the year and stuff, so. Even though my physical was toward, like, the end of November, I just got the blood work done yesterday. Literally yesterday. And my Switch came in the mail this week. I haven't set it up yet, but it's back. They ended up replacing it after all. So that was $100 shot in the rear. $100+ actually. And it's super irritating to know that all it takes is like a botched program update to totally brick the thing. I guess I'll just be super careful whenever I'm updating things in the future. And if it happens again, I don't think I'll buy another Switch. Or bother to get it repaired, like, actually, though. Alas, but hey, it's done. And I managed to track down all of the Pokemon promo products I was looking for. Not necessarily for the prices I wanted them at, but I did manage to get them at not terrible prices. Like, the things I was going for most recently were the Mega Starter X boxes for Ascended Heroes, and every scalper on Earth was determined to sell these things for more than double their value at $50 a pop when they're only worth $20. Well, I got super lucky with an auction on eBay where a guy was selling 2 out of 3 of them, and like the shipping was really high. It was like over $20 shipping, and I think that scared some people away from it because I managed to get the whole thing for I'll give him for like one more plant, okay, and then we'll worry about that. Pardon me. But anyway, I can't remember exactly what the price was, but I actually got it like a fair bit under what I was intending to pay. And since that left 1 box remaining, I just patiently waited for a single one of them to sell for within my price range. And since I'd saved so much on the initial order, when you combined them all, they actually worked out to about like $40 each after tax, which is, you know, still not great. I paid like $60 more than anyone should for these things. Like 60? Yeah, I paid $60 more for these than anyone should, but I paid $30 less than most people would. So I was like, you know, count your blessings. Yeah, and with those out of the way, there's like nothing I need to stalk eBay for, so that's nice. I can give that a rest. I'm a little bit worried about my finances these days, although I feel like I don't necessarily need to be concerned. Like, I'm making enough money this year to keep up with things. There have just been a lot of erroneous expenses in the recent months. And, like, catastrophes are in the budget to a certain extent. But, like, you know, it's not every day that my Switch breaks and costs $100 to fix. Stuff like that. Not every day I go to the hospital for severe dehydration and walk away with $300. At least that one's on like a 6-month interest-free plan. But, you know, if my woes can be boiled down to maybe my expenses are slightly higher this month or that month, I'm okay. Perfectly fine, thanks. So yeah, with all that stuff out of the way, I feel like I can actually focus on things, and that's part of why I was able to put so much time into Take-Two this week, because I felt uninhibited. Hooray! Wow, it's like when my life is working, it's not a huge freaking deal to sit down and design a game once in a while. Yeah. But as was noted, like, a lot of my afternoons are getting eaten up by naps, which isn't necessarily a terrible thing, because most of the things I reserve for afternoons are non-critical. Like, that time slot was originally for Pokemon, and then I told you last week I was getting fed up with Pokemon, so I was going to start using it for Fire Emblem. And I don't mind if Fire Emblem gets dicked over either, to be perfectly honest. Because it totally is getting dicked over, I mean... I'm making some progress on my randomizer run, but not as much as I would have been if I wasn't napping so heavily. Keeping up my rest is more important to me anyway. What's this plant? Coffee bean. Get out of here, punk. Coffee bean. Freaking. What about you? Lily pad. Man, alright, hold on a second. We do technically have a lily pad we can replace for you. There. And this one. 3-peater. We just grew that 3-peater. I raised it fully before the stream started. Oop, I clicked out. There's a spikeweed and a different facing spikeweed. I don't remember which is which. Looks like you're wrong facing, so you can just go directly to hell. And you're right facing, so you can replace this guy. Bop. Come on, be something good. Clover. Meh. 6 plants, and they're all duds. That's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, Marigold's the 6th spot. Back to the grind. So yeah, I'm like working my way through victory or death in my randomizer run, and it's a thankfully less stupid map than ones I've had to deal with before. I was kind of worried because like there were some pretty nasty units that were coming up toward the end of it whenever I did my little preview, but there are actually so many enemy units on the map that the nasty things that would be spawning in can't. The game just like deletes them the moment they try to spawn in. Because, like, apparently 50 is the most enemy units that can be active on a map at a time. And, like, I guess I would be dealing with more units if I was killing them more rapidly. But the thing is, like, I'm trying to get experience to the people who need it most. And as it currently happens, the 2 units who need it the most are the ones who only became available on that map. Like, there's the character who replaced Nils. Who normally takes over, like, Ninian's role and stats and stuff, but since it's a randomizer, it doesn't exactly work that way. And he's, like, severely hampered in terms of stats. Well, the character replaced him is. So I'm trying to make sure they can get some stat or safe level ups where possible. And the other one is the guy who replaced Renault. I don't even remember their name necessarily, but their class was a magic tome. And apparently when you promote the magic tome, it becomes a Jin. So I was like, ooh. Definitely gonna make sure that guy gets his 4 levels so I can promote him at 20 and have a Jin for the final map. And plus, he kind of needs more experience from other things anyway. And there are plenty of, like, weaker units on the map I can, like, basically feed to him safely. So yeah, that's turning it into a slog and slowing everything down, and that's why the late game units can't spawn in. Not complaining. Plant! 1. I'm glad to see the zombies are not being so stingy today. Watch, I'll have jinxed it, and now we'll never see another freaking plant. I'm trying to think what else is happening, but I guess things are just kind of getting back on track. I guess my next few Sundays are kind of getting eaten up. Tomorrow is Mother's Day, and I plan to get dinner for my mom. I offered to take her out, but she was like, all the restaurants are going to be packed. Why don't we just do something at home? And she was like, I'll cook a frozen pizza. And I was like, no, Mom. I'm not going to let you cook a frozen pizza for your day. So I offered to... Well, she said she likes Chinese takeout, and I told her about this place that me and my dad had visited a couple times nearby. It's like... I don't really know how to gauge it in terms of, like, it's not precisely authentic. I want to say they have, like, the authentic Chinese menu and then, like, the American version menu. But if it's that kind of place, then you can expect the quality is, like, a little bit above your average, like, Chinese buffet. So I get to place that order tomorrow and pick it up on the way over. I'll spend the evening eating nice food and play some games and stuff. It'll be a nice little visit. It will, however, eat up one of my Take-Two time slots. Oh no. Oh. Spending time with family instead of designing a video game. How heinous. But yeah, that's this upcoming Sunday. Next Sunday is I'm attending a pre-release event for Chaos Rising in the Pokemon TCG. That'll only take up my afternoon, so I'll be back in time to do, like, my usual things. But still, it is an event disrupting my Sunday. At least it's something fun, I guess. I was telling my sister the other day, I'm actually kind of enjoying that the TCG has been doing smaller sets lately. Because my experience with larger sets, you'd think what it would be is that with more cards available in the thing, you get a wider variety of opening packs. But what actually happens is it just becomes more aggravating when you get the same ones over and over again. Like, I still have one of my Ascended Heroes boxes coming in the mail. And that'll have another 4 packs of it, but I've only got 1 left of the 8 from the boxes I bought before. And, like, there's still, like, 30-ish regular cards I'm missing from the set. I'm not talking, like, the X's that are double rare or anything beyond the set limit. And just ordinary cards that could be in any pack, theoretically, and they just keep missing. Just not getting them. I keep drawing the same crap. You're getting some of, like, the same foils over and over, even though the set has, like, twice as many parallel foil cards as any other. I'm still getting duplicates, and it's like, well, yeah, obviously that's possible. It's just, it's unlikely, and the lower likelihood just makes it even more annoying. But I haven't had that problem with any of the other smaller sets. Like, everything since Mega Evolution has been less than 100 cards for its regular card lot. And, like, the general number of packs I've gotten keeping up with each one of those has been, like, just enough to not overdo it. I want to say I'm, like, missing 1 or 2 ordinary cards from each of them so far. So yeah, with Chaos Rising being a similar set structure, I guess I'm not looking forward to the renewed chase for promo cards, but otherwise, not too bad. And what's the Sunday after that? Yes. The Sunday after that is when my sister's ex is coming to get his stuff, which we've done our best to prepare and make as simple as possible. I'm going to be there for moral support, and also as like a deterrent in case he gets any squirrely ideas. Plant! Yay! So yeah, that's my weekends coming up. And today, oh wait, today is Saturday. I was like, what happened this week? Oh yeah, this was Mother's Day. I did have my Saturdays slightly disrupted though. Things were on track from the start of it. But then I went shopping. And my goodness. When I got to Giant Eagle, they were having this enormous sale for cereal. They had a buy 2, get 3 free deal. And I was like, oh my god. I don't know where, if I have room for all the cereal I was going to buy, but there was no way I was going to pass up a deal that great. I ended up saving like $144. Of course, that wasn't just across the cereal. They also had like a buy 2, get 2 free deal for some fruit snacks and for like some like granola bar type dealios. All things that I use in like my work lunches. So these are all things that I would have eventually bought anyway. It's not like I splurged and will eat them faster just because they're there. Which is how they get you. That's how they get you. They won't get me. I'm going to get the full value of my $144 saved. Thank you very much. But yeah, I bought like... it was either 25 or 30 boxes of cereal. And like... I ostensibly only had room for like 6 of them, maybe 7 of them. But I really crammed it and like rearranged some of the stuff in my pantry / kitchen cabinets. I guess they're all technically kitchen cabinets and I just use them as a pantry because, you know, it's an apartment. It doesn't have a whole lot of space in the first place. But yeah, by packing things in a little tighter and a little wiser, I was actually able to just like fit them all and I don't have like cereal boxes lying around anywhere else in the house. It worked out. But it also took like hours. Like normally I go shopping at 3 and I try my best to be done at 4. And usually my living by myself, only replenishing the things I already used ways, it doesn't take me that long to process anything. But with that volume of cereal and work lunch materials, it ran me from... I think I'm gonna say I got done shopping around like 3:45 or so. It ran me from then until like 8. I only took a break to do some processing for the Pokemon cards and to eat dinner. But yeah, that ate up a Take-Two time slot, alas. Having my apartment organized is a little more important. I have a hard time focusing when my life is all cluttered and terrible. Plant! Let him go! Plant! How are we doing on those plants? There are still 3 slots left. I kind of had a feeling. Trying to think what else I got going on. But it really is just kind of things getting back off the ground, and now that they can. Theoretically. Got a comic review I've been meaning to post, but I haven't gotten around to. I wrote it like a few weeks ago, and last week I drew the chubby for it. But I have not united the chubby on the computer with the review. All I have to do is like email it to myself, and that problem will be solved, but it's too far down the priority bracket, and I had past tense too many other things to worry about. Things have not really slowed down at work, unfortunately. My cohort, who normally helps out with the job I'm doing, is not back. I don't know when they'll be back. But hopefully soon. I've mostly caught up with what I needed to do, but there are still like a few lingering things here and there. And some days I have so much to do, I actually kind of need to like skip my lunch breaks to get it done. I don't really mind because I never took formal lunch breaks in the first place. In fact, I would usually just snack while I work over the course of the day, and I would use my lunch break to read a book or something. Plus we get like 2 little 15-minute breaks, which amounts to an hour in total breaks for the day, but they only request that you do not combine them into a super break. That's illegal. Don't do it. But yeah, some days I'm just like, you know what, there's too much to do, and I would rather have it off my plate than take 15 minutes. My job is easy enough that I could probably just forego breaks. But Hallie, if the job is so easy, why are you having such a hard time with it? Volume, dear viewer, volume. Just because it's easy doesn't mean there's not a lot of it. And whenever we're down an admin assistant, my workload more than doubles, so yeah. Oh, hey, we managed not to lose any cattails for once. It just kept getting munched by those ambush zombies. I said before that I'm looking forward to this stream series being over. And like, I kind of don't want it to last more than one more part. Only thing is, I don't know how feasible it would be to do a stream where it just doesn't end until we get all the plants. Because we've gone a very long time in both of these little survival hard scenarios and just not seen any plants at all. I've actually been kind of lucky in that regard today, although I feel like what we're seeing now is more akin to normal RNG. But yeah, I am tempted to make the 40th part the final part by just not stopping streaming until the job is done. And let's see. I'm trying to think how that would work exactly. I guess I would be doing it on Saturday, so I don't have to worry about like the TCG event interfering. I don't think I would want to start it at 9. That seems like a bad idea. I think that would be a scenario where starting the stream early is advisable. I'll just start it like right after lunch. See how long it takes me. I don't know how many plants you have in the garden right now, but I'm pretty sure it's not full. I was just thinking the urge to, like, check. You have paranoid fervor. Do we have 6 plants yet? Oh god. You know, listening to this song, I feel the need to regale you with one of the most difficult things I've ever done in any game. In Donkey Kong Country Returns, this mole train boss fight, it has multiple phases, and in the first few phases, like, the moles are... Well, each phase is like... How do I describe this? I guess the first phase, you're kind of like catching up to them as they're throwing pickaxes at you, and you have to dodge them in a pattern. Then you catch up to like the main body of the cart train, and moles are like popping up out of the ground, and you have to stomp them all. Well, not popping up out of the ground. They're carts full of bananas, because of course it's Donkey Kong Country. And you have to like hop on the moles as they pop out. And then there's another phase of like catching up to the train, and while they throw pickaxes, and another phase of stomping on moles. And then there's a final showdown with a big mole who pops up at random and will throw a pickaxe at you, or if he's right in front of you, he'll just smack you with it. And this boss fight, it's not particularly well designed. You get hearts along the way because they figure you're going to be taking hits because of how cheaply the moles pop up. Like, there's very little notice when they're about to pop up underneath you. And the big one in particular, there's no rhyme or reason to how he moves around. You can't, like, pay attention to where he's going in the carts by the bananas shuffling. He just kind of pops out eventually. Anyway, so this fight is balanced around being able to take hits and being able to recover. Well, Donkey Kong Country Returns has a mirror mode where all the maps are inverted like they would be in like Mario Kart mirror mode. And you only have 1 HP. Yup. So you eventually have to do this stupid train fight with moles that pop up randomly. And you have to do it with 1 HP. It is an absolute nightmare. I lost over 100 lives trying to do it. And the only reason I didn't game over was because I rage quit halfway through and got my, like, 50 of my lives back. It is one of those things I will happily never do again. 200%ing Donkey Kong Country Returns, I can't recommend it. It's awful. Just horrendous. And it's not even like the final mole is a very easy mole either. He doesn't have a sensible amount of HP like anything would. Like, you'd think a guy like that would only have 3 HP, but he has like 5 or 6. And every time I bopped him, it felt like a miracle. And that's enough complaining about that. Just thought I'd tell you about it. A gaming experience. And I have now explained online. Maybe now I can put it behind me. Just forget the trauma. I would say I'm reminded of it every time I hear the song, but I actually quite like the song. Apart from being a poorly designed piece of crap, it's actually a kind of a fun The non-1 HP version is, like, perfectly fine, really. Because if you're going to design a fight where you can only have 1 HP, the fight should be designed with that in mind, I think. And I would say that's a rare Nintendo L, but, like, Nintendo's taken all kinds of L's over the years. Just not necessarily in the design department, I would say. I want to say their game design is usually pretty sound. It's like their business practices that moderately suck. Even the modern Pokemon games that are, like, plagued with issues still at least, like, function in a decent way. Like, the issues they have are more optimization than gameplay related, is how I would describe it. At least that's how I feel. Then again, I haven't played Legends ZA, so who knows. I heard a lot of really bad stuff about it when it first came out. It was hard to tell how much of that was just, like, stuff they would patch out later, or maybe related to people playing it on Switch when it was mostly designed for Switch 2. Like, if it's going to run better on the upgraded system, then, of course, it's going to look like doo-doo on the old one. Did not play either version and still feel no inclination to, so whatever. I'll play it eventually. I guess when I finish pillaging Fire Emblem. I had to think of what verb I want to describe my activity in that game as. And I think pillaging about covers it. Yeah, I missed a zombie somewhere. Wow, we're over 500,000 monies. Are we good yet? No, there are still 3 slots. This is the level of stinginess I was expecting. See, game? You led me on. You know something? It's gonna sound really stupid for me to say this, but it only just occurred to me that the cattail part of the cat is its tail. Sigh. Should be the most obvious thing in the world, but I've never really, like, looked at it and put 2 and 2 together. I was like, cattail, huh? It's a cat, yeah. And the thought didn't go any further than that. Probably even says it like in its almanac. I think it fires spikes from its tail. You know, although I'm, like, caught up on life stuff at the moment, and that feels good, there's still a painful, lingering feeling in the back of my mind that there are many, many things on the back burner still waiting for their turn. Namely, like, catching up on reviews and thumbnails. Trying not to be too bummed out about that, especially since Take-Two needs my prioritized attention at the moment. I'm just glad to have gotten my life into a circumstance where there's at least the potential for everything to work, right? The time is there, and if I manage myself correctly, it can work. It took months and months and months to figure out, but I finally did it. Now it's just a matter of staying on the ball. which is certainly easier said than done. But it's certainly not impossible either. You know, for lack of other things to talk about, I guess I can pontificate about this other thing as well. There was one other thing that delayed my shopping trip today. See, normally when I go shopping, there's like a Target right nearby the grocery store I go to, and both of them are just like right across the street from where I live. So like, since Target on rare occasions has Pokemon cards, I'll usually pop in just to see if they have anything. And today they did happen to have some stuff, although it was just like sleeved boosters for Perfect Order, for which I have no interest in whatsoever. But I grabbed one for my sister since it's Mother's Day tomorrow, and she's a mother too, so she's gonna get that one free of charge. She doesn't watch this stream, so she won't know. But anyway, I got that for her, and I was going to pick her up a special kind of can opener. It's like, instead of like the traditional shape where you latch it onto the top of the can and like crank from the side, it opens the side of the can so that there aren't any like nasty sharp edges. You still kind of like have to be careful handling it, because like that doesn't make it impossible to cut yourself on them, but it does greatly diminish the risk. But Target didn't have any of them. I was kind of astonished, and I was like, well, geez, I'll have to hope that Giant Eagle can pick up the slack. But because I got so distracted with like the super cereal deal, I actually ended up forgetting to buy the can opener entirely. So I get to drop by there maybe tomorrow to see if I can pick one up. But anyway, that wasn't really why I brought up the whole Target thing. Because like, even though there aren't any promo products I'm seeking currently, I'll still check Target for like special versions of cards I might not have yet, on the off chance that they might be there. And like I said, I picked up a Perfect Order pack. They didn't really have anything else on the shelf at the moment, but on my way out the door, as I was walking to my car, I noticed that the garbage can, which was like overflowing, because I guess they don't change it very often, the garbage can right outside their door had some Pokemon merch in it. And I was like, oh, well, just look at that. I actually see. It was like these little individual card portfolios. I don't remember how many cards they hold exactly, but it's not very many. But they're usually sold with like one booster pack each, and I noticed that somebody had just dumped all these, and they happened to also dump the Pokemon cards right next to them. I was all like, well, hey, if they didn't want them, I'll take them, even if they are crap. So I went slightly dumpster diving to pick up some Pokemon cards today. They were all from Phantasm Flames. It looked like they were all from the binders, because there were 4 binders in the garbage, and there were 34 cards. So it seems obvious that they just like kept the things that even seemed remotely valuable and left everything else. But I was surprised it didn't take like all the parallel foils or anything. Yeah, whenever I tallied them up later, there were 15 common cards, which suggests to me that one of them slipped into the depths of the garbage can, never to be seen again. All of the uncommon cards were there. 6 of the 8 foil cards were there. All the parallel foil cards. And only 1 of the regular holo rare cards was there. I was like, alright, whatever. Yeah, I'll give them a home. Or rehome them if I don't need them, which is overwhelming likelihood. I would never have bought 4 packs of Phantasmal Flames because, like, I don't strictly need them anyway. But, you know, free as a price, I won't pass up. And I grabbed the little, like, binder portfolios, too. I figure I can just, like, flip those for literally anything that's a profit since I got them for free. Maybe just sit on them for a while or give them to my sister's kids. I don't know. No, they're not really into Pokemon cards. They're, like, too young to even understand what they are. But my sister has been, like, using her leftovers to, like, build them some binders. A weird kind of little nest egg sort of dealio. So, they'll have some Pokemon cards in the future, whether they want them or not. But anyway, these little portfolios, I was like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with them. But it kind of got me thinking about, like, what would possess a person to do that. And I imagine it was probably just a scalper. Because, like, if they weren't interested in flipping the folios themselves, which they're probably really low value items, and they only have, like, 1 pack in them, so it's like, what? They might have figured their odds were better off just opening the packs and taking whatever hits they could find. But it's also kind of sad. It's like, really? Wow, you're so desperate that you're, like, buying a product that you don't even need so you can open the pack on the off chance that you'll get something worth selling again. It's like, how desperate are you? Well, you know, just because I think it was probably a scalper doesn't mean it was a scalper. That's just kind of my read of the situation since scalping has been such a big problem. And I guess what really threw me about these 4 packs was that they left some of the foil cards behind, because, like, if a person was scalping, that would be the kind of stuff I would think they would want to sell. But, like, the foil cards they left behind were nothing special either. Like, they were, I want to say none of them were actually rare cards. Like, obviously there were some cards missing from the bunch, and those would have been the hits. Impossible to say what those were. But I guess I can't totally discount the possibility that someone just bought 4 Phantasmal Flames packs, already knew what was in their collection, and just, like, tossed the rest because they didn't want to have to put up with the bulk. Which is a sentiment I can kind of understand. It's just, I feel like if you're a genuine collector, that's not the sort of move you would make. Like, particularly if you participate in the trading card game aspect of things, it's like you might hang on to the foils to trade for somebody else's foils you don't have or something. You wouldn't just toss them out. So yeah, I think it was probably just a scalper praying for that gold Mega Charizard XY, or is it YX? Whatever. It's stupid is what it is. Oh yeah, we should probably check the garden after this. We found a couple. There might be room for one more though. Is there? No, we're full. Alright, let's see. What do we get? What do we get? You know, I guess with this wheelbarrow space, we actually have room for like 49 out of 48 plants. I was thinking about like letting the Gravebuster just live in the wheelbarrow and putting a sprout in this space to serve as the flower pot that is unattainable. Or maybe put like a marigold there so it's an actual flower pot. Obviously these pots are not like the flower pot. They don't have a little face. But if we're gonna fake it, that would be how. Starfruit, get out of here! Where are you? Squash! Nah. That's how he feels about his own existence. Where are these? What are this? Lily pad, Starfruit. Oh my god, I can't believe my horrendous luck. Marigold, you need to step aside for a second here. Lily pad. Oh, yeah. I'm selling this one. Nah. Don't even need the money, I'm just selling them because I can. Cactus. Get my move on. Oh my god, 3 wrong-facing starfruits. Why do you hate me, Lord? Alright, back to it. Still looking for 3 Tangle Kelps and 2 Magnet Shrooms. Unbelievable. Here's an idea. Maybe instead of putting Gravebuster in the wheelbarrow, I could put Gravebuster in Magnet Shroom's spot. Well, I mean, I guess I'm gonna have something sleeping in the front garden anyway. What I was thinking was, the random thought that occurred to me was that if I keep one like plant sprout ungrown and 1 marigold ungrown, then that's like the maximum visual variety you can have in the thing. In this context, I guess you would put Gravebuster in the mushroom garden with his other fellow night plants, even though the Magnet Shroom needs to be in the, like, what? Needs to be there to be awake. It's just that you also need, like, Seashroom to be there to complete that row, and Seashroom can't be awake there. There's just, the only distinction is there's enough room in the aquarium for, like, more than enough of them. But yeah, if we were going to do things that way, well, we would still be going for like 49 out of 48 plants. But the difference would be that the last one wouldn't need to be any specific plant. We just put a sprout in the wheelbarrow. This is already kind of beyond the scope of what my Zen Garden was originally in the first place. I don't really know why I'm going for these extra innings. Like, I did have this number of... Well, I had like 1 less of the lily pads and tangle kelps, I guess. Back in the day, whenever I was doing this, I kept 1 of each plant and extras of the aquatic plants because there was room for them in the aquatic garden. And then I just left 4 spaces open on my Zen garden so that as I continued further into Endless, I could, like, accrue plants and sell them and all that fun stuff. There was room for finding replacements and growing new things, basically, what it amounted to. You didn't want a full Zen garden because that meant you couldn't get any more plants. Now it just feels right to complete the Zen garden by filling every possible space with every possible plant. But yeah, if we go with that plan, then I'm only going to need one magnet shroom. One magnet shroom, 3 tangle kelps, and a sprout and a flower. Correct, facing sprout, of course. Why would I get facing sprout? Honestly. You know, I think I talked myself into it. The more I hear this idea, the more I like it. But I'll have to wait to act upon it, though. Like, we'll save buying the flower pot and finding the sprout for last. And I'll need to leave Gravebuster outside of the mushroom garden until I'm ready, because I will want to at least grow the magnet shroom to full size. Like, it might be sleeping eternally in the main garden, but it can at least be full size. Couldn't even hit the flag zombie with those ones, man. Shouldn't have fired them so early. Well, you know, even if we're only going to get one magnet shroom, it's still worthwhile to hunt for it on hard pool, where it has a 1 in 8 chance of dropping instead of like a 1 in 32. I guess it's more like a 1 in 16 chance as opposed to a 1 in 64, because they could be facing the wrong direction. Well, I clicked out. Where? What was I even trying to click? I gotta rearrange my windows. Okay. I remember what made me talk about things I need to catch up on earlier. Because one of the things that is a little less obvious that I'm behind on is catching up with battle themes. There's all these songs you see scrolling across the ticker there. Well, most of them, I guess, are from Let's Plays we've done on this channel. Like, I also include battle themes from games I finish, which is why this one's in there. I completed Smash on the Wii U about as much as anyone can. But, like, I also collect battle themes from the games we Let's Play, and I'm a fair ways behind on those two, surprising no one. I'm still collecting battle themes from the Rainbow Shine sprites, if anyone remembers what that was. I added a couple songs from it today. One of them was from Mario and Luigi Brothership. But yeah, when you see the song scrolling by, it says like the title of the song, and the first thing in parentheses is the game it's from. And then if there's a second thing in the parentheses, it's the game we heard it in. I can't really demonstrate with this example because this one's just from Smash Wii U. You might think there would be a lot more songs in here, considering Smash is all about battling, but I kind of draw the line. It all depends on how I define what a battle is. And for me, a battle involves willing participants trying to overcome each other in a certain fashion, usually by fighting. And while that certainly does communicate to Smash, the stage themes for Smash are not included among the battle themes, because those are the themes of the area, not the themes of the fight, if that makes sense. But when it comes to multi-man Smash, this song is specifically for fighting against the Mii brawlers, or not just the brawlers, but the fighting Mii teams in a multi-man setting. And it always uses this theme, so it's the theme of the multi-man brawl, or Smash, whatever. Yeah, it's the theme of the multi-man Smash, it's not the theme of the battlefield. Hence it is here. And other character-specific battle themes from Smash are also in there. Like, I want to say we heard Master Core sometime recently. Looks like we're running out of time to grind our plants. We'll probably have to call it after the next one. And by that call it, I mean put in our final 10 fog flags. Can we get some plants? One last round of fog. And then we're going to fog endless for its final 10 flags. Watch, I'll just get jacked to death and have a miserable time. Just realized we got Dancing Zombie on both the day and the night lawn. That's actually pretty good because the backup dancers have increased... Well, they don't have increased chances. It's just one zombie becomes 5 zombies. And thus increases your chances of dropping plants, which makes it even more horrendous that we aren't seeing more plants. The game knows what I want. It's just not going to give it to me. Come on, zombies. We gotta get to endless. We can't keep doing this all night. Yeah, right. Did we get a single plant in all that mess? I don't think we did. Not a single one. What a shame. Alright, let me set up the cheat engine thing so we knock this fog. Yeah. Go to address. Okay. Replace with code that does nothing. Okay. Nope. Limbo page. 10 more flags of this. I can't tell how we're doing, but it looks like we're okay. Behind those gigas there. Let's see. Yeah, everything seems to be in order. Yeah, just lawn's a little beat up, that's all. Whew, pardon me. Well, we've got regular Gargs. And that's it. You're the only threat. Everything else is kind of eh. Well, I'll bring these just for lack of needing anything else. Oh, we're still recovering from a catastrophe, I see. Good, this can be a great recovery round for us. I forgot to time my cogs. seems I timed them perfectly somehow anyway. Trying to get the sun to bounce back, but they're keeping me busy planting all these pumpkins. Wait, hold on. I wanted to put my chat up front. Just because no one's talking and it doesn't mean I don't want to see when it starts. You really do get a lot less sun at night, man. I mean, you get no sun at night. You have to rely on sunflowers, but still. That is we're not catching up very fast. And again, they haven't made any of my pumpkins into Swiss cheese. At least not very quickly, so. I say as like 800 Dalton Riders dive in. What was that? The pumpkins aren't chewed enough. We're on it. The imps are doing their worst as well. I should just be glad we have a gigaless round where we don't have to devote any additional resources to killing guards. Replacing occasional pumpkins is about as optimal as you can get. So. And there we go. We're back over 8,000. You chewed up a lot of pumpkins. Alright, yeah, we recovered about 1,000 sun, and that's ugly. Ugh, no, not you. Not that guy. Okay, and we need that. Otherwise, we need that for the Zombonis, and these for emergencies. Alright, here we go. Jags. I want to plant an ice stream, but I think we're too close to the flag now. Phew. That was not rules enough. Once again, thankful that we're not dealing with gigas right now. Him dropped a present. I don't know if that was poolside or not, but we stopped them. All right. Somehow we've recovered as much sun as we did in the recovery round. Tempted to just let this play out, but I don't think I can. I'm sure they're just regular guards, but you still need to, like, hit them at least a little. Ah, there's the big guy. There's the big guy. So let's see. It's kind of just him and Zamboni, though. Could be worse. or spike rocket. There's quite a pile of guys right here. Just didn't want to reach enough lantern. Although I guess lantern is less expensive to replace than this clutch. Hobbit balloon zombies, making my life complicated. I want my fog lawn to look pretty like my other lawn does. Even if it costs me some sun to do. Oh, that one guy. He's getting all chewed up and I couldn't tell. Let's see. The zombies have actually given up. There are no threats here, except for you. Okay. I guess I'll bring these in case they somehow chew through. Kinda wanna just let the lawn handle this. Because it can. This is absurd. Yeah, I'm only firing on the dolphins. surprised my lanterns aren't getting trashed. These guys started running out of ammo. Chipped my spike rod. Alright. I don't think there's a single notched pumpkin on the lawn. We just need to get through the next set unscathed and we're basically fine. Placed all those pumpkins, I still have max sun. Good grief. At night, no less. Alright. Final wave of Endless. What's it gonna be? Jerk. One last chance to go out with a bang. He's really the only threat. Oh dear. Let's go. That spike rock is also just going to be chipped. It mirrors from the other lawn, so it's kind of fitting somehow. Waiting for Jax. I only just realized Typhon Rider was there. Must have been lurking behind the guard or something. Or my eyes glazed over him because it's not a zombie I need to bring specific plants for. surprised the guards are getting as far as they are. I think the football players are probably doing some tanking for them. Also, could just be a whole lot of guards. Yep, looks like we're gonna be just fine. Not even got off better than the previous one. Can the lawn handle it without any cobs? Just maybe. Working so far. They are just guards after all. Finishing with max sun and everything. Oh my goodness, we have truly conquered Endless. Yup. Yup. That's it for that. 200 flags completed. On both ends. You'll never get your chance, Giga. You should have showed up one round earlier. Alright, let's water our plants. Yeah, next time we'll just worry about grinding. I guess we do have 4 more opportunities to make progress. I wish there was like a sprinkler system you could buy off Crazy Dave for like an insane amount of money that just waters every plant in the Zen garden at one push of a button. I don't need to worry about anything else over here, right? Oh, this guy needs road. Yeah, bro. Should probably buy more fertilizer. Everybody's ready. What are you? Sea shroom. What are we growing up? This is... We got a wrong face sig magnet. Would you look at that? But the question is, do I count it? Let's see. We don't need this repeater anymore. Because like originally we did need a wrong facing magnet, but now if I go forward with the plan I outlined earlier, I actually don't. It's only the correct facing magnet that I need. Oh, what to do? I feel like I should keep it there just cause. It gets an honorary position in the mushroom garden just for now, but I'm still not going to add it to the tally, I guess. Ugh, that's such a bummer. Alright, that's going to do it for this one. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And we'll catch you next time with what might be the end of Zen Garden %. I guess we'll see. Hope to see you then. Bye-bye.